A single hug has sent the internet into a frenzy, and now JD Vance's marriage could be at the center of the biggest political scandal you've never heard of. What really happened between him, his wife Usha, and Erika Kirk? The answer might shock you, and it's all unfolding right now. Anything I say, no matter how wild, has to make Usha smile, laugh, and celebrate. My wife didn't grow up Christian. She comes from a Hindu family, though not a deeply religious one. Most Sundays now, she comes with me to church. And yes, I hope that one day she might feel moved by the same things I do in church. I've said it publicly, and I'll say it again. I believe in the Christian gospel. And I hope someday she comes to see it the way I do. But while my personal life is about faith and family, the political world is currently in chaos, and at the center of the storm is Vice President JD Vance. Recently, explosive rumors have spread online, suggesting a dramatic upheaval in Vance's personal life that could shake his political career. The spark? A now viral hug with Erika Kirk. What might have been a brief, innocent moment quickly ignited speculation and rumor across the internet. Social media exploded with fans, critics, and gossip accounts dissecting every frame of that embrace. Some were quick to suggest that JD Vance might be considering leaving his wife Usha, and that Erika had somehow taken center stage in his personal life. Theories spread like wildfire, with every comment, meme, and post adding fuel to the fire. Things only got worse when a Washington insider chimed in, hinting that the marriage between JD and Usha might not be as solid as it appears. While insiders never provide a complete picture, the implication alone was enough to stoke public curiosity and anxiety. People began piecing together the viral hug with other moments from Vance's public life, interpreting them as signs that the vice president's domestic life was crumbling. Then came another layer to the story: Vance's public remarks about his wife's faith. In interviews, he expressed hope that Usha, who was raised Hindu, might eventually embrace the same religious path that had deeply inspired him. To him, it was a personal expression of belief, a hope that his spouse would one day share in the spiritual journey that shaped him. Yet instead of being received as an intimate and thoughtful comment about faith, his words were interpreted by many as dismissive and controlling. Social media users, political commentators, and late-night hosts quickly labeled his statements as insensitive, arrogant, or even inappropriate, arguing that he had crossed a deeply personal line. For many, the combination of that public hug with Erika Kirk and his remarks about religion painted a troubling picture. Critics argued that Vance's comments implied that Usha was no longer the woman he wanted to be with, and that Erika had become the ideal partner in his eyes. Memes predicting an imminent divorce began circulating on every platform, turning a private family matter into a nationwide spectacle. Every new post, every share, and every tweet added layers of drama, making it nearly impossible to separate fact from fiction. The speculation reached new heights when New York Times columnist Shannon Watts posted a provocative message on X. She claimed, "Vance announces divorce, marries Charlie Kirk's widow by the end of 2026. Within hours, her post went viral, amassing millions of views and thousands of comments. Many online users backed her prediction, pointing to the chemistry between Vance and Erika during that now infamous hug. Others, however, dismissed it as reckless conjecture, accusing the media of fanning the flames of yet another political soap opera. Regardless of its accuracy, the rumor had already taken on a life of its own. Amid the chaos, JD Vance eventually broke his silence. In a carefully worded statement, he reaffirmed that Usha is the most amazing blessing in his life, emphasizing that their marriage remains strong and that their family is fully committed to one another. He clarified that his comments about faith were meant as expressions of personal belief, not reflections of any marital conflict. Regarding the hug with Erika, Vance insisted it was a friendly, public gesture at a student event that had been twisted and sensationalized by the media and online commentators. Despite his reassurances, the story continued to unfold. Some conspiracy theories went even further, suggesting that Vance could go to extreme lengths to replace Usha, potentially manipulating church annulments or exploiting religious technicalities to justify a future marriage to Erika. The internet buzzed with these speculative scenarios, blending political strategy with personal drama in a way that captivated public attention. Adding to the speculation was the Halloween photo op, where JD dressed as a meme version of himself, attempting to lean into internet culture and diffuse criticism with humor. While some praised his self-awareness, others saw it as tone-deaf. Meanwhile, Usha appeared in everyday attire while the rest of the crowd wore elaborate costumes, sparking further conversation about her mood and the state of their marriage. Observers noted that the difference in their appearances seemed symbolic of the growing tension behind the scenes. Some even joked that Usha looked like a second lady. Who's over it? A humorous but pointed observation about how exhausting the public spotlight can be for someone who has sacrificed a high-powered career for their spouse. Formerly a top attorney, Usha reportedly struggled to adjust to life under constant scrutiny, where every gesture, smile, or glance could be misinterpreted online. Remember the dinner incident too, the one where she allegedly snapped at JD in public? Moments like these, combined with viral content and rampant speculation, made the couple's private life a national talking point. The perception of Erika's role in the story added another layer of complexity. She stayed mostly quiet during the height of the speculation, but eventually broke her silence during a Fox News interview at Turning Point USA. Erika opened up about the intense scrutiny she has faced since her husband's tragic death, detailing how cameras followed her every move, capturing and analyzing her actions, emotions, and reactions. She insisted that transparency is necessary, arguing that the public deserves to see what true evil is and highlighting the potential long-term impact on generations if the truth were hidden. A particularly poignant moment occurred just 2 days after her husband's death. A visibly heartbroken Erika was seen holding Usha Vance's hand as JD and Usha personally escorted her in the casket off Air Force Two in Arizona. In the viral age, perception is often more influential than reality, and this gesture, brief and emotional, has now become the focal point of endless debate. What could have been a simple act of comfort and solidarity was instead interpreted as the start of a scandal, a narrative fueled by clickbait headlines and the endless appetite of social media audiences for drama. As of now, JD and Usha remain together, focused on their family, and trying to navigate life under the relentless public microscope. But that viral hug, the remarks about faith, and the ensuing speculation are reminders of how quickly private moments can spiral into national headlines. In today's world, a single gesture can reshape narratives overnight, and public opinion can turn with lightning speed. This ongoing drama highlights not only the pressures of life in the public eye, but also how easily perception can be distorted. While much of the speculation is just that, speculation, it demonstrates the potent combination of social media, celebrity culture, and politics, where even the smallest moments can become explosive. For JD and Usha, the challenge remains managing their family, faith, and marriage while the world watches and interprets every move. The big question everyone is asking, is this the start of a divorce, or just another wild rumor in the life of a public figure? Social media is filled with people commenting on how JD and Erika seem too close, with some even telling Usha to leave him. But the concern isn't just gossip, it's serious. Some worry that Usha could be set up in a way similar to historical tragedies, all to make room for Erika. Vance himself has openly acknowledged that his wife, Usha, does not share his religious views. While he is a devoted Christian nationalist, Usha was raised Hindu and, by her own admission, never deeply practiced any faith. Their differing spiritual perspectives have been a topic of public discussion, particularly as Vance has spoken about his hope that Usha might one day embrace the beliefs that are central to his own life. For many observers, these comments were less about personal faith and more about the political and cultural optics surrounding a high-profile couple in the public eye. Erika Kirk, by contrast, is widely seen as aligning closely with the same ideological framework as Vance. Her alignment with Christian nationalist ideals makes her a more ideologically compatible partner in the eyes of certain political factions. For some members of Vance's base, the image of two white Christian nationalists together fits perfectly into the narrative they've long sought, a symbolically ideal union that reflects their vision of leadership and values. The combination of shared religion, ethnicity, and public persona has fueled endless speculation and debate about whether Vance might prioritize such an image over his existing marriage. This tension between private life and public perception is intensified by the unique pressures of political culture. Once Trump exits the stage, many see JD Vance as a potential rising figure in national politics. That prospect brings with it an intense scrutiny of his personal life. In short, if these rumors are true, the fallout could be huge. Usha might even feel the need to protect herself or consider leaving. I know it sounds like a conspiracy, but the patterns are worrying, and the stakes are high. At the heart of this storm is the viral hug at the University of Mississippi's Turning Point USA event, a moment that has since taken on a life of its own online. The context is important. Erika Kirk, before introducing Vice President J.D. Vance, delivered a heartfelt tribute to her late husband, Charlie Kirk. She acknowledged his legacy while also noting that she saw certain qualities in J.D. Vance that reminded her of her late spouse. It was meant to be respectful, perhaps even comforting, but what followed became the defining moment. The hug itself was brief, yet lingering in a way that caught everyone's attention. Erika's hand rested in Vance's hair, a gesture that is intensely personal and generally considered taboo for a public figure, particularly in a political context. For those watching in real time, or more importantly, those analyzing the clip later, the gesture read as intimate, almost romantic. Within hours, clips of the moment had spread across social media, with users pausing, replaying, and dissecting every millisecond of the interaction. Analysts, body language experts, and gossip enthusiasts weighed in immediately. Was it a simple display of comfort between two adults navigating grief? Or was it the start of something more complicated, something that crossed the boundaries expected of a public official? Online commentators offered every interpretation imaginable, from innocent friendliness to the suggestion of a brewing scandal. Memes and reaction videos quickly followed, ensuring that the moment would dominate feeds for days, if not weeks. The timing of the hug added another layer of intensity. Vance and Usha Vance were already subjects of speculation regarding their marriage, due in part to public remarks about religious differences and private life. In that context, even a small gesture like a hug could be magnified into a symbol of personal and political drama. What might have been a fleeting moment of human connection instead became a national talking point, dissected and debated on platforms ranging from Twitter to late-night talk shows. In today's digital world, perception often outweighs intent. A gesture meant as support or empathy can be transformed into a headline, a meme, and a viral story. That hug between J.D. Vance and Erika Kirk is now a perfect example of how the internet can take a private, personal interaction and spin it into a full-blown public narrative. What was likely a simple act of comfort has evolved into a defining moment, shaping how people see both Vance and Erika, and feeding speculation about personal relationships, ideology, and the ever-blurring line between private life and public persona. And then came another shock. Vance publicly expressed hope that his Hindu wife would eventually embrace Christianity. The backlash was immediate. Critics painted it as a sign of a deep ideological rift within his family. Vance explained that Usha was raised Hindu but wasn't particularly religious. They met in college as atheists or agnostics. Today, they raise their 3 children Catholic, and Usha often joins the family for Mass, showing her willingness to support their faith even if it isn't her own. J.D. Vance said he hoped his wife, Usha, might one day feel moved by the same things that inspire him in church. But what was meant as an expression of faith hit like a thunderclap. Social media and talk shows erupted. Critics accused him of arrogance and insensitivity, claiming he had crossed a deeply personal line. Many argued that what stung the most was how callous it seemed. Instead of respecting Usha's beliefs or quietly sidestepping the question, his comments made it sound like he was publicly judging his wife and her family. Combined with the very personal hug he had just shared with Erika Kirk, it fueled a narrative. JD had supposedly lost interest in Usha, and Erika had become the person he truly wanted. Memes predicting a divorce flooded every platform, turning a private marriage into a public spectacle. Just when the drama seemed maxed out, New York Times columnist Shannon Watts dropped a bombshell on X, claiming Vance announces divorce, marries Charlie Kirk's widow by the end of 2026. The post went viral, racking up nearly 10 million views within hours, with thousands of comments debating whether it could actually happen. Some dismissed it as wild speculation, accusing the media of turning politics into a soap opera, but the rumor took on a life of its own. Finally, J.D. Vance responded, attempting to calm the storm. In a carefully worded statement, he called Usha the most amazing blessing in his life, reaffirming that they were happily married and committed to their family. He explained that his faith comments were about personal belief, not marital conflict. And the hug? He insisted it was just a warm, friendly moment at a student event, twisted by online sensationalism. Meanwhile, the internet continued to fan the flames. Some voices went even further. Former White House press secretary Jen Psaki suggested on a podcast that there could be serious trouble in the Vance marriage, hinting at a possible divorce without offering evidence. She added, "I always wonder what's going on in the mind of his wife. Are you okay? Please blink 4 times. Come over here. We'll save you." The claims sparked wild speculation about Vance potentially marrying Erika Kirk before a presidential run. Rumors even included theories about church annulments, suggesting Vance could claim that Usha's resistance to his faith created a hostile home environment, making only Erika his true marriage in the eyes of God. Adding fuel to the fire, their Halloween photo op didn't help. JD leaned into meme culture, dressing as a meme version of himself, trying to laugh off the internet, but the stunt landed him on worst-dressed lists. Usha, meanwhile, appeared in ordinary clothes while everyone else dressed up, which only amplified speculation that all might not be well in the Vance household. The drama continues to unfold, and the public remains captivated, watching every move of a marriage that has become both a political and social spectacle. Soon after, rumors escalated, suggesting JD might go to extreme lengths to replace Usha. Some even whispered dark theories about her safety, claiming she could disappear or worse, and that JD and Erika would somehow justify their closeness afterward. It's wild, but that's how gossip spreads in the digital age. Through all this, Erika stayed mostly quiet, until recently. In a Fox News interview at Turning Point USA headquarters, she finally spoke out. She opened up about the scrutiny she's faced since her husband's tragic death. "Cameras were everywhere," she said, tracking every move, every smile, every tear of hers, her friends, and her family. She continued, "We deserve to have cameras in there. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know that because I've seen what the case is built on. Let everyone see what true evil is. This could impact generations to come." Just 2 days after her husband's death in September, a visibly heartbroken Erika was seen holding Usha Vance's hand. JD and Usha personally escorted her and the casket off Air Force 2 when they arrived in Arizona. In today's viral world, perception often outweighs reality. That brief, emotional hug between JD and Erika has been blown up online, turning a private moment of comfort into a national conversation. What might have been a simple act of support has now become a full-blown scandal in the eyes of some, and clickbait in the eyes of others. The timing couldn't have been worse. With rumors already swirling about JD and Usha's marriage, this viral moment only fueled the fire. As of now, JD and Usha remain together, focusing on their family and navigating life under the public microscope. But that hug? It isn't going away anytime soon. It's one of those moments that sticks in people's minds, reshaping perception even if it was innocent. For now, it's a reminder of just how fast things can spiral in the age of viral clips, where a single gesture can rewrite a narrative overnight. So, what do you think about all this drama? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure you catch our other videos to stay up to date with all the latest tea. Till next time, bye.